Well, welcome back to Woking FC, Jack Cook.
Thank you very much.
Pleased to be back.
Yeah, third year now.
Third year, indeed,
Third year.
yes. Veteran.
Yeah.
What are you, 24?
Well, I wish. 26.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh, as much as that. Oh, you are a veteran then.
Yeah, I think this is probably the longest time I've spent at any one club,
Yeah.
so excited to be back.
Great. So you didn't need any persuading by Douse?
Like, Douse is Douse, isn't he? So I think he, if he's persuaded me or not, I'd never know what he was actually saying. So, no, I've played with Douse for a number of years now. I know what the club's about, so there wasn't much persuading needed, and I always wanted to sign her again.
I think Douse is a very big part of the reason why lots of people are here, including the likes of Daniel and myself, right, not just players.
Yeah. Probably also a reason why a lot of people aren't here as well.
Well, that says maybe, but I think he is able to attract the right people.
Yeah, we've got a good group.
Which is hugely important.
Definitely.
I mean, we spoke to Ben Gehring this morning, and he was saying things along those lines without me suggesting it to him.
Yes.
That it was such a good group of players and such a great dressing room and so on.
Yeah, which Douse has built, and we all enjoy playing together. We've come through different clubs, some of us together as well, and we've known each other for a long time. So we're just all happy that football's back to normal. Well, we don't know yet, but we'll be back to normal, and we can all start playing football again.
Yeah, sure. Let's start with Woking News and Mail Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Was that a surprise?
It was, yeah, well, massively. I mean, Rossi cleaned up every other award,
Yes.
and rightfully so. So it's great to be recognised for what you put in, and I'm delighted with it. Yeah, it was a major surprise, but very thankful for the guys at Woking News and Mail for handing me that award.
Yeah, that was, given what you've just told me, maybe slightly false pretenses, because they said they like to pick a young player every
Yeah, I
week.
know. I did raise that on the Zoom call at the end of year awards, but I think it was between me and Musa, and I think I had maybe 1 or 2 years younger than him. So
undoubtedly. To be fair to the News and Mail, they do have a bit of a track record of doing exactly that.
Okay.
There's been a number of years when one player has won lots of awards, and they've usually managed to find someone else who's made a terrific contribution,
yeah,
and deserves recognition.
yeah,
And that was you this time.
yeah. No, very grateful for it. As I said, Rossi deservedly won most of the other awards, and as I think it was last year where Casey probably won every single award.
Yeah.
So it's great, and I'm just saying this because I won it, that someone else was recognised and could be rewarded for their achievements.
Yeah, absolutely. The big debate. I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch, not last Friday's catch up with Douse, but the one before, the first one we did back.
I haven't, but there's a common theme between what Douse says about me. I think he calls me a city nerd quite often.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't watch the full 20 minutes.
No.
No offence to you
It was
guys.
only 18 minutes. That
Yeah,
one.
it was only, but yeah, no, I heard some sound bites, and I will have to put him up on that actually.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. It was. I said to him that it was great that you were recognised by the News and Mail, and he said, "How did he get Player of the Year? He cost me 40 goals at the start of the season."
Well, yeah, I mean, when I think, as you said earlier, like, does Douse do much persuading? I think the first thing he said to me after the award was, "How the hell have you won that award?" So I don't know if that's a persuasive technique that I've heard before, trying to get you to sign again. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I won it to push it back in his face if there's anything.
He did, in fairness, it should be said, and you can listen to it back if you wish, go on to say that the last 10 games of last season you were fantastic, and you proved yourself the best right back in the league.
Well, that's a big statement. I definitely thought I was coming into form when the season ended. Had a few good games before it obviously came to a conclusion. So I think I kept in good form and good momentum throughout, and was looking forward to having a playoff push and cementing my position at right back. But it wasn't to be, and definitely took some learning with this new position, new league at the start.
Yeah.
And then it was a bit indifferent at the middle part of it. But yeah, glad that I picked up some form, and obviously the award was probably looking at the last 10 games from what we all remember from football, which was so long ago now. So yeah, delighted to be back, and can't wait to hit the ground running again from how I left off.
Yeah, and it will be very clearly, talking to Douse, it will be as a right back.
Yeah.
It seems. Has he said that to you?
Yeah, we've spoken at length, and I feel more and more comfortable there. I'm enjoying it more and more. I think he's pretty set on his centre backs that he's got, and I've played alongside both Ben, who signed today, and I know he wants to sign Musa as well, and I played alongside them and know how good those guys are. So I'm just happy to be on the pitch and playing, and in a new position that I'm enjoying more and more every game.
It's just occurred to me when you're talking about Ben and Musa there.
Yeah.
Do you look at those two and think, I'll never get in at centre back because even though I'm 6'4", I'm not big enough?
It's a very big defence, apart from one position, by the way. I mean, everything can change, right? One injury and I can be called in to play centre back. So I think it's good to have that utility sort of name above your head, as you can play in different positions. But yeah, I mean, Musa does make me look small, and there's not many people that can do that. So no, I'm very grateful to play alongside them in a new position.
And notwithstanding Douse's comments about however many goals you allegedly conceded,
I don't think it's as many as he said.
No, well, I think 40 might be a slight exaggeration.
I don't think we conceded 40 all season, did we? But anyway.
Nonetheless, my point is that you played 38 times last season, so
yeah,
he can't have thought that badly of you.
No, I think I was third or fourth most appearances.
Yeah,
in the team
Casey
year.
was top with 40, and then there was Ben on 30, was he 39 or 38?
I think Rossi played a few, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, Rossi 39, Ben 38.
Yeah, but I played a lot of games. I think there was probably 4 or 5 that I remember missing out on or being on the sidelines. And Douse has done it for a few seasons now. If you're not having the best form or not best running, he gives you a rest and gives you time to rethink. Which actually, when you get left out, it's very frustrating, and you want to tell him what you're thinking. But it's actually, he does it for the best and looking after the players to give them some time out to recover and get their head right. And then that's probably the reason why I came back so strong, is I missed 3 or 4 games, didn't enjoy it, wanted to tell him, you almost want to leave at that point and just say, don't want to play under you because you've just left me out for what I thought was no reason. But actually, it gives you time to rethink and get better.
And to be fair to Douse, he does always present it in those terms. He says in the catch-ups and other interviews with the press that he's given someone a rest.
Yeah.
Or thinks they need a rest.
Yeah.
He might even say, they might not agree with me, but I think they need a rest.
As players, you want to play football.
Of course.
You don't think you think you're ready for every game. So I think every player wants to play, and again, you do want to go and tell him after or before what you think of him, but actually it probably is for the benefit of the individual.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he's going to be right, and that you do need a rest, and you've got to be safe from yourself a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And he knows when the right times are to do that with each player.
38 appearances.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many goals you got?
Yeah, just the one.
The one, yeah. So you and Ben and Musa, how many between you?
6.
Not even 6, it was 5.
Yeah, it's not great, considering we're a team built off set pieces and being rough and tough around the boxes and getting goals that way. 5 goals it's not great, is it?
It's a bit surprising. I thought when I looked it up, I was surprised.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams probably do think that we're an attacking threat and from set pieces, but actually we play some good football, and there's probably a lot of goal scorers that we've had throughout the season, and a lot of good goals scored. So we're not just a one-trick pony and hard to beat in the air. We do score goals, as the stats suggest, a number of different ways. And
what you've got to look forward to this season, of course, is possibly Matt Jarvis taking corners and free kicks.
Yeah,
but then you probably won't be allowed to go forward.
Well, I don't know how they do it, but some games I do, some games I don't. Yeah. I think they're probably right when I didn't score until the last game I think we played, not to send me up, but hopefully I enjoy being in and around the box and attacking corners, so hopefully that can change next season. And then with someone like Jarvis putting the balls in, you think you've got a better chance of getting on the end of them.
Sure. Have you got a highlight from what last season, such as it was?
I think probably just the first 10 games, where we're sitting right at the top of the game. I think probably my personal highlight was probably the Dagenham and Redbridge game, the first game.
First match, yeah.
None of us really knew what we were expecting. We were the same team from the previous year that did very well in that lower league, but you're playing a whole different opposition. So yeah, probably the first 10 games of going to play away at Chesterfield and actually just enjoying the environment, but then going and getting the wins in those sort of games was incredible.
Filed
yeah, exactly. And I think we could have pushed on, and if we were given the time, I think we would have given it a really good push to get into the playoffs, and obviously that would have then been in the highlights just to play in those sort of games.
But of course we did get a right result from the way the season panned out, because we beat Barrow at home and then we didn't have to go all the way up there to play them away.
That's true. I think there was a few long distance journeys which you dread doing, and thankfully we didn't actually have to, but I think everyone in the club would have taken the opportunity if it meant being in the playoffs to go up there and doing your best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's move on to recent times.
Yeah.
How has lockdown been for you? First of all, were you furloughed from your proper job?
No, I was fortunate to still work throughout.
Right.
I think
did that involve a lot of working from home?
It did. Well, yeah, completely all working from home.
Right.
I think our offices were one of the first to close in the UK, as there was an early case. So they took a lot of precautionary measures, and rightly so. I remember actually when our office was closed, I actually came in for a game or training, so it just shows you how early that they were. It was even before football had completely shut down.
Yeah.
And they took all the right measures and right steps to make sure everyone was safe. And I've been okay, to be completely honest. I've been managing to stay fit at home. I've managed to get a spin bike, so I've been doing bits at home, kept my job and just stayed safe, I think.
Did working for Nike help you get a bike to have at home?
No, that was a personal decision. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
So how has it affected the way you do your job?
I think everyone's experiencing changes in the way they work. I mean, we'll probably, when we come back to football, there'll probably be new measures in place. And I hope you guys are expanding the change room, because I don't know how we're all going to stay 2 meters apart in that changing room with how many players Dallas likes to get in pre-season friendlies and that kind of thing. But I think everyone's experiencing differences and different ways of working, and it's going to be interesting to see once the office does open. I mean, it is open, but I haven't been back yet, what it is like. But yeah, we'll just have to play it by ear, see what the government say, and crack on.
So has it been doing your job by Zoom, basically?
Yeah, Zoom, WhatsApp calls, everyone what everyone else is doing, really. It's the same for whatever industry and whatever job. It can be draining at times, and starting to get a bad back from my inadequate office equipment at home, but yeah, we're all getting on with it and we're all fine. So
good. And you say you've kept reasonably fit. Have you done any of these 10k runs?
I haven't. I've done a few 10Ks. It's probably not my best time.
I was going to say, you're not built for it, really, are you?
No, I'm probably too. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm quite good at long distance running. I'd say the short, sharp stuff is probably leave that for the tricky wingers. But
right.
Yeah, so I think 5k. We all did a 5k early on, and we all put our times in the Woking group chat to see how we did. I think I was up there, so I was happy with that. Yeah, but definitely looking forward to being back in a group environment and training rather than long, lonely 10 or 5k runs, which.
But you're going against type a little bit, aren't you? Because if you watch the Olympics, all the distance runners are 5'6" and weigh 7.5 stone.
Yeah, and very thin, which. Yeah. I mean, it's you don't want to be that shape going out on a football pitch. It might be great for a 5k, but coming up in the National League, it's you don't. I'm glad where I am rather than get a good 5k time.
Sure. Have you lost a holiday or anything like that as a result of all this?
Well, I've recently bought a flat, so I think holiday was probably on ice
so
till next year anyway.
That went by the ball.
No, nothing like that.
Oh,
we managed to get the keys and complete on our flat the day before we went into lockdown. So I haven't had any cancellations or anything like that. The only thing I did have was I had tickets to the Open for golf, and obviously that got cancelled, but that's next year. So I haven't experienced too much loss or discomfort. So. No,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And lastly, none of us know when you are going to restart training or playing matches, friendlies, or when the league's going to start. Have you got any sort of thoughts or views on it at all?
I think we all just raring to go and want to get going as soon as possible, really. If Dallas organised a training session, what day is it today? Tuesday. If you organised a session for Thursday, I think you'd get the majority of the squad ready and up for a training session just to be together and be part of the group and actually playing football with your friends again, which is what we're doing
Yeah.
every day. But yeah, in terms of the changes that are going to happen, I can't see too much. I don't know if we have increased testing or anything. I think the most worrying part is when it gets to the winter months and what happens if there's another spike and that kind of thing. That's probably the biggest worry, that we know how much we did miss football when it left. Now what about if that happened again a lot earlier? That's probably the biggest worry and concern.
And that was, I don't know if you heard it, there was discussion about that on the radio this morning. There's someone suggesting that there could be as many as 120,000 more deaths this winter if there's a bad second spike. And of course, if the National League were to restart, albeit with reduced crowd numbers, which is very likely, and then there was a second spike, that would probably kill another season, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and no one knows how long this can go on for. We're probably just thinking what's going to happen this winter, but then beyond that, how does everything change? And it is concerning for, I know a lot of the guys, this is their full-time work and everyone around the club, so it is scary times for all clubs and all sort of grassroots non-league football at the moment. It's worrying, and even up until League One, League Two, where everyone's seeing differences and challenges. So yeah, just got to hope that everyone can get through it and is safe and healthy at the end of it.
Absolutely. And you personally obviously need to hope very strongly that there aren't loads of League One and League Two right backs being released out there.
Well, I haven't actually talked to Dallas about shirt numbers, but I think I've hopefully got number 2.
Well, you're wearing it at the moment.
I'm wearing maybe it's false advertising, I don't know. But yeah, Dallas has been pretty clear that he wants me in at right back.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, fingers crossed that I can do well in pre-season and keep my shirt.
I'm sure you will. Thank you very much for your time today. It's great to see you back here again, and we look forward to seeing some football eventually.
Thank you very much.